Hey everyone, Jonathan McGarry here at Pleasant Hill Baptist with another edition of What I Have Noticed. I want to begin, if I could, by telling a story from my childhood. When I was a young boy growing up in Toledo, Ohio, there were times that in my adolescent mind, things were not going the way I wanted them to go. And often when that happened, like most children, I'd begin to complain and to whine. One day, my complaining and whining must have been particularly grievous because my mother sat me down by her stereo equipment and she began to play a poem that was set to music and performed by George Younce of the Cathedral Quartet. It was called Lord, Forgive Me When I Whine. Now, as a child, I must have whined often and been made to sit down and listen to that poem often when I did. Because as the story goes and my mother tells, there was a time when I had been complaining and my mother told me, you need to remember all the things that you have to be thankful for and all your blessings, and you need to ask God to forgive you for your whining. Now that little pep talk must have worked because after that, she said my frequent prayer became, Lord, forgive me when I whine. Well, I'm a grown man now. And do you know what I've noticed? There are still times that I find myself grumbling, whining, and complaining about things in life. What I've noticed is that there are others also like me in this world who sometimes find themselves mired in complaint and grumbling about things. Now, it's true that we live in troubling times. It's true that we often have circumstances that go contrary to how we want them to go, whether they be politics, social distancing, the shutdowns and lockdowns due to the coronavirus, as well as personal conflicts, troubles, storms in life. There is no shortage of things to complain about. But we also have so much to be thankful for. And it is the old saying that is very true, things could always be worse. Now, I'm not trying to say that whatever it is you are going through or complaining about is not real, not painful, or not troublesome. But what I'm saying is that sometimes we need reminding of just how blessed and privileged we really are. So I want to remind you, as I often am reminded myself, to count your blessings and name them one by one. It really will surprise you what the Lord has done. And it will surprise you that by counting them one by one, you will leave little time for complaint. I also thought we could use this time in a reminder of this old poem from my childhood. Now, I don't have the musical track that George Younce did, nor do I have the beautiful voice that he had. But my desire is that the words of this poem would, for me, and I hope for you as well, become a prayer of confession when we find ourselves beginning to grumble and to complain. It's called, Lord, Forgive Me When I Whine. Today, upon a bus, I saw a girl with golden hair. I envied her. She seemed so happy, and I wished I was as fair. When suddenly she rose to leave, I saw her hobble down the aisle. She had but one leg and wore a crutch, but as she passed, she smiled. Oh Lord, forgive me when I whine, for I have two legs and the world is mine. Now on the way home, I stopped to buy some sweets, and the lad who sold them had such charm. I talked with him. He seemed so glad. If it were late, I'd do no harm. As I left, he said to me, I thank you, sir, for you've been so kind. It's nice to talk with folks like you. You see, he said, I'm blind. Oh Lord, forgive me when I whine, for I have two eyes, and the world is mine. Later, while walking down the street, I saw a child with eyes of blue. He stood and watched the others play. It seemed as if he did not know what to do. I paused a moment, and then I said, why don't you join the others, dear? He looked ahead without a word, and then I knew. He couldn't hear. Oh Lord, forgive me when I whine, for I have 2 ears, and the world is mine. With feet to take me where I would go, with eyes to see the sunset's glow, and with ears to hear what you would have me to know. O Lord, forgive me when I grumble, when I complain, and when I whine. I am blessed indeed, and the world is mine. I hope that you noticed what I've noticed. I pray that you will be blessed and that you will count your blessings and name them one by one. I pray that you will find that you are blessed indeed. Until we meet again, may God truly bless you. I love you, but more importantly, God loves you. Keep your eyes on Him.